Namaste, salutations, and good vibes. Welcome to Thursday Night Vibes with Master Rochi and Mama.
Hi, everybody.
You did it again. You did it again. You made it through another week. Jay, no problem, brother. I know what you're going through. Take your time. We'll catch up. My heart goes out to you. Ronald, good to see you, my friend. Wayne, welcome.
Hi.
Very, very excited. Well, first, I didn't finish, did I? I started saying hello to other people. You put another one in your back pocket. You've got another week done. You're on the downhill slide. You're vibing with us. One more day to get through, and you're going to be golden. So congratulations, you made it through the hard stuff. And we always, and only have beautiful people on the show. What do you say?
I
Mama?
say yes.
Mama forgot to change the privacy settings before she started sharing, and therefore she is
Still sharing.
still doing what she normally does before while the intro is going on. But back to our special guest, Keith Johnson. Now, we got to meet Keith at a event in Indianapolis at, excuse me.
Jeez.
What was
You said it earlier, Vogue.
the Vogue Theater. So Wayne is not only a hemp farmer and has a company here in Indiana. He is also a board member of the Indiana Normal. So, I'm so thrilled to get to talk about Indiana and the movement here. So without further ado, let's bring on a beautiful person, Keith Johnson. And Keith, thank you for taking time out of your day and spending some time with us tonight. One thing I did not add is, guitar player extraordinaire. So, but I want to make sure I give you all of the laurels I can, my friend.
Well, don't heap too much on there. No, I fiddle around on it, mostly for fun.
Right.
Well, I'm real glad to be here, and thank you for having me tonight.
You're very welcome. So, I guess we should start out from the beginning. How did you become involved in hemp and cannabis and become a board member for Normal?
Well, things moved pretty fast. When the Farm Act of 2018 was passed, I was interning for a biomedical engineering company at the time, and I was working with a guy, and he had a friend, the female friend of his that had breast cancer. And she was out west, and she'd used CBD and things, and it had been a great benefit for her. And she used THC and other things, and it really benefited her a lot. And at the time I'd heard about it, we'd had those brands like Hemponics and the MLM type things that became real big there for a while, even before the Farm Act of 2018. And so I started looking into it because I just didn't know much about it. And it was about, maybe 2 months after that, we started kind of fooling around on the chemistry side of things and doing some extractions with hexane at very, very cold temperatures and just kind of playing around to see what we could get out of it. And it just kind of grew. It went into runaway mode is what happened. And I kind of lost self-control and went down the rabbit hole of cannabinoids and extraction and can chemistry. And
that's
I
easy to do.
And ended up not too long after that starting the Carboxyl Group in 2019. And then that started out as just a CBD products company. And then we grew our own crop right out here, out back in the land out here, and had 2,200 plants. And then we thought, okay, if we're going to do that, we might as well go vertically integrated and start a lab. And so we build our own lab, which I'm sitting in right now. That's a mess. I won't show you what's going on here, but things are kind of tore down. But and we ran that and evolved that, built that up and added to it over the years. And that lasted all the way up until, this last fall or so, really. And then we started winding things down here. And the price for a lab like ours, of our size, to extract and refine cannabinoids, compared to the now, and these guys weren't here in the beginning, the mega corporations that come in and they wait for people to lay the groundwork. And then they say, okay, they have a profitable business model in the state of Indiana. Let's move down to southern Indiana, open up a mega extraction center and processing center. And that's what they did. But this has happened all over the country. So it's difficult for small labs. So anyway, so we shut down the extraction operation. Then I teamed up with Mark Davidson up in Davidson Greenhouse, and a lot of people are familiar with him. He's a OG hemp grower in this state as soon as he was able to. And we teamed up, or I teamed up with them, and they opened a business in Fountain Square then with Lisa Claire. And so it's Mark and his wife, Stacy. And they asked me to come up and manage that operation for them. And so we just had that soft opening about a week and a half ago. And I got some kind of exciting news. I can't really relay yet, but it has to do with my next little venture in conjunction with them. And so I'm not completely out of the game and kind of going to come back in a little different way, maybe. And then in Normal, it was a year ago, about a year and 3-4 months ago. My friend Alicia Doherty, she's the chairwoman of Indiana Normal. Her and Skywolf Neil Smith were talking, and they extended an invitation, or the entire board did. And I was friends with a lot of those folks to join. And I'd been doing a lot of work with cancer patients and folks with Parkinson's and other conditions, and I'm doing research in cannabinoid treatments for those folks. And
wonderful.
We really had quite a bit of success. And anyway, so they thought, that would be a nice thing to have on the board, someone that. And so anyways, I was super honored and thrilled to join Indiana Normal. And you talk about a tough haul in a state. Indiana is a very unique state in that regard, but we are making headway and gaining ground. And there's some final hurdles to cover, I think, but we're getting there. And that's pretty much it. And so here I am, as of today. But it's been a fun ride. Helped a lot of people along the way. And I don't think I'd change any of it.
Right on. Right on. I was a member of the Midwest Hemp Council, but I let my membership lapse there, which I think I'm going to pick that back up when I can.
Yeah,
that's another.
They do a lot of good work. Jamie Campbell, works with them, and you got Justin Swanson and those guys, and they're kind of defenders, I think, of cannabinoids in Indiana, especially in the hemp space. When Attorney General Todd Rokita last year had his issue with Delta 8, he issued that 14-page opinion. It wasn't legislation, but it was opinion that got everybody nervous.
Oh yeah. I was very nervous.
We were nervous. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at it and I laughed at first because I thought, well, it's useless. It's illegal. It's his opinion. It doesn't really mean anything. Nothing's going to come of it. Well, then, of course, we saw like in north of here and then in southern Indiana spots, county prosecutors were then issuing letters and seizing product and things like that. And it only happened in a couple locations before Midwest stepped in and filed suit. And thank goodness they did.
Yes.
Because that could have been a domino reaction from county to county that would have really unlawfully, without any due process, shut down a lot of companies. And that's that was just a very sad situation. I couldn't believe that they actually attempted it.
Not only is that happening in Indiana with the Delta 8 and those products, it's happening in states all across the country. So it's something that we need to be aware of.
Yeah, and where you're really going to see the banning of Delta 8. And a lot of people, they mistakenly call Delta 8 synthetic, and it's not, as you guys know.
Right.
And we can preach it and stuff, but people, the politicians mistakenly use the term synthetic. It's created through synthesis, from one cannabinoid to another with a catalyst.
Right.
But it starts as a cannabinoid, and just a couple molecules or a couple atoms are rearranged in that molecule. And they're so closely related that it just takes a little nudge to get them to become other things. And so it's not a bad product, but the therapeutics of Delta 8 are such, they're gentler. And a lot of people have very high anxiety, of course, can't handle Delta 9
Right.
very well. So it's sad that these states are doing that with what is a safe product. And nowadays, the Delta 8 that's made is a safe product. I'm convinced of that. Now, there may be some backyard guys slinging it that haven't cleaned it up properly and done their removals and certain things. But
and that's where the market and it's going to have to help self-regulate itself and clean it up and get rid of these bad actors.
Well, that's like we do third-party testing on all of our oils. You know what I
Right.
mean? And we're not required to, but we do.
But I am right in the same camp with you on the Delta 8. We really don't use it for recreational, but we put it in a few of our products because of the lightness and the easier dosing and less side effects that it has when we're using it in a therapeutic manner.
Yeah.
Right. And also with Delta 8, of course, you can avoid that 0.3% by weight of the product limitation that you have with Delta 9. Like in a little gummy that may be 4 or 5 grams, you can go 9 or 10 milligrams, right, of Delta 9. But whereas with Delta 8, you can make 25, 40, 100, 125 milligrams, which that's crazy, but that's more than I want. I don't want to, that's a mouthful right there in a very small bite.
Oh, ours are 50 milligrams.
Yeah, we have some 50 milligram gummies.
Delta 8 gummies.
That we have out, but our next version will be a 50-50. A 1-to-1 blend of Delta 8 and full spectrum CBD. So the mood stabilization of the CBD and the lift of the Delta 8.
Well, we have the vape carts are the Delta 8 and the full spectrum CBD as well.
And that's I wish there were more vapes with CBD in them now. Most times when you go to a smoke shop, you just see vapes that are like Delta 8 or what have you. And I miss the CBD because I don't know. I'm not a spring chicken, right? So I mean, I can just sneeze wrong and pull my back out some days. But
we did our vapes before were just Delta. Before they were Delta 8 and THCO, and we did away with that. Did away with that. And we wanted to go with a more therapeutic blend, so we went Delta 8 full spectrum 1-to-1 full spectrum CBD.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful combination. And if you go to a lot of legal states, that's the most popular medicinally prescribed therapeutic dose, I think, in many regions. And it's just a great combination. I mean, any THC and CBD combo, and Delta 8 and CBD would be very therapeutic. Yes.
Exactly. I do all of our formulations. We don't white label anything. So
that's good. That's good.
I kind of started out as an herbalist. So I may not know the biochemical structures, but I know what the plants can do. And when CBD started hitting the market, it really, flared on my radar. It's like, oh my God, what is this? And started delving into it and then the different cannabinoids. But you're absolutely right. Anybody that's doing cannabis, Delta 9, Delta 8 needs to have that full spectrum CBD support along with it.
Yeah, and I tried. There are people, and you've heard it, and I've heard it certainly, and maybe even before CBD, I became as familiar as I am with the CBD world. I would have said it myself. I don't need that. I've got cannabis, weed, THC, and from the plant, and they are very different. While THC is anti-inflammatory, that's not a strong suit. CBD research has shown time and again is the king of the anti-inflammatories.
Oh,
And
certainly.
Well, and you have the different receptors do different things. So
yeah, exactly. You're right. So
Yeah.
with THC, of course, you're with CB1, you're influencing and modulating that reaction, and with CBD in your other systems like CB1's primarily, of course, your brain and central nervous system, and
Right.
and it's great for neuropathy, right? So a 1-to-1 would be excellent for diabetic neuropathy. It would be good for sciatica and lower back issues because there you're both reducing inflammation and you're taming that spinal column down with the THC with CB1. So it's I
Yeah.
love combining those things. And I tell you, a really nice feeling is to combine like in a dab or something, combine some Delta 8 with some CBG concentrate and add some terpenes, just a couple drops of some like limonene, a drop of linalool maybe, and just one drop. You can overdo it with myrcene on a dab, and oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's just the most positive feeling going. You kind of
We,
want to get up and just do something with it.
but
And
we
but I like
might have
combining
to.
things.
well, and you know
We might have to talk.
the terpenes do a lot too. I mean, you have to look at limonene. Limonene opens up your lungs, so when you're doing a dab with the limonene terpene, pinene does too. But the limonene really does. They say people who have like Doyle has COPD, and he
Yep.
uses we have the lemon haze flavored vape, which has the limonene terpene in it, and he said it's the only vape he's been able to do that really opens his lung, and it's not necessarily the CBD or the Delta 8, it's the limonene.
I'll tell
Right.
you what.
Right.
How about we take a quick
Music break.
musical break? I've got some Mendo Dope queued up here.
Do you?
Yes. No. Actually, I was going to queue up Mendo Dope. However, I've got.
What do you got?
Yeah. What do I have? Roots of Creation.
Roots of Creation. Okay.
I've got Roots of Creation pulled up here. So let's see if we can get some
music real quick.
Yeah. Take a
little break. So smoke them if you got them.
Right on. And this is to remind you that this fine program is brought to you by Master Rochi's Garden, masterrochesgarden.com. Check out our fine wares, assortments, and mercantile items from beard oil to simple syrup to CBD balm, carts, gummies, and of course our 1,500 milligram full spectrum CBD with different cannabinoids added in, like our Ambrosia Nights, our Groovy Days.
Play song.
This sounds pretty good to me, by the way. That sounds pretty good.
All right. Let's see if we can
do this.
Get this to go.
was the cool, never could do no wrong. You had everything so uptight. How come you lay awake all night long? Well, in spite of all you gained, you still have to stand out in the pouring rain. One last voice is calling you. I guess it's time for you to go. Shake it, sugar bee. Just don't tell them that you know me. Yeah. Shake it, sugar bee. Just don't tell them that you know me. Yeah. Well, in spite of all you gained, you still have to stand out in the pouring rain. One last voice is calling you. I guess it's time for you to go. Shake it, sugar bee. Just don't tell them that you know me. Yeah. Shake it, sugar bee. Just don't tell them that you know me. Yeah.
Are we ready?
We are
Sort of back?
we are sort of
Sort of,
back,
now we're back.
and we are. Well, Jay, thank you for helping out. But actually, we have a chemical engineer
On
just
screen,
so
so he
happened
can
in the house.
gladly explain.
But this is a question a lot of people don't understand the difference of Delta 8 and Delta 9. Keith, would you like to?
And they also don't understand the difference between Delta 9 and regular THC.
Right. I mean, would you like to take a stab at this?
There's lots, and my background really isn't anything special here. It just so happens that chemistry is one of these things that I just kind of really enjoy. So this is a simple. A lot of people are confused by the deltas, and that's great. That's a great topic. So you've got, I saw Delta 6 today in a product that I didn't even know they were doing that. So, and in the end, all the THCs are very similar, except for THCA in its raw form is non-psychoactive. So you start out with the THC molecule, and it kind of has this, and we won't, obviously you can't go deep as I'm making little air charade signs, but
Right?
you've got this hexagonal ring, a couple of them, and you've got a carbon little tail chain that comes off. So in one of these rings are these double, and I call it a ring, but it's 6-sided. And there are these double bonds in that ring. And there's actually just one double bond in the one we're talking about. In each position, if it were to move to each flat position around in there, would be, say, if you start at delta 8 and then delta 9, delta 10, right? And so all it takes to do that is a chemical reaction. And you can break and change and just boost or shove, however you want to envision it, that double bond. So that creates all these different numbers. And they do slightly different things. And like all the 6, 8, 9, all they give you buzzes to the degree and what other little attributes to it there are. Like with delta 8, it's more uplifting than delta 9. Delta 9, you need to get some sleep. That's the one to take, right? I have delta 8, I wake right up. So there's these subtle differences in effects. Are they that much different? That depends on the person, I guess. And now THCA is the originator of all those. THCA is tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, and it's not psychoactive. And that's the majority of the THC that's in the plant. And then, of course, you heat that to decarboxylate it. And that drives off this little CO2 group off the top of that little X shape I was telling you about. And that makes it then psychoactive. So THCA has that little thing kind of sticking off the top, and THC, delta 9, and those others don't, but that double bond moves around. And that's all the difference. And in the plant, you can find delta 8 in hemp, in cannabis, in very small concentrations. But usually you'll find delta 9, and the majority of the THC then would be THCA. And there's a lot to work with within that, and a lot of different effects you can go with. And I don't know, what, say, pairing delta 11 with CBN might be like compared to pairing delta 9 with CBN. So I don't know those kind of differences, and I doubt there's a whole lot really of research done. I'm sure people have experimented and played, which is always fun to do.
We have our sleep blend is the CBN and delta 8.
Yeah. That's your sleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
What we did was we took and we started out with the 1,500 milligram CBD,
The full spectrum.
and then added the CBN isolate in, and then just a tad of delta 8. So the delta 8 will relax the mind and the body. When you go to sleep, the CBN kicks in, and then you get the benefits. And then we even went as far to switch all of our carrier oils to
hemp seed oil.
To hemp seed oil.
Oh,
so
did
our
you?
products are 100% hemp product.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. The combinations and the differences in the effectiveness of it, like for instance, the one I use for Parkinson's and things like that, and I don't have the bottle here, but on the bottle you can read it. It's the two most obvious things. And I got my terpene blend. I kind of is a guarded thing I keep because it makes it behave differently, I guess. But the ratio that worked out was 400 milligrams of CBD and 700 milligrams of CBN. And it turns out to really knock restless leg out. I mean, first night,
right?
Yeah. And so these combinations. So you're saying, man, we have 1,500 full spectrum CBD, which is a good dose, right? And then I don't understand 300 milligram CBD bottles. Never mind, I won't go there. So
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah.
There's such thing as lowest therapeutic threshold, right? So and that
it does. Why would you take a broad spectrum CBD?
Well, you can still get the benefit. You're not going to get the entourage effects, but you'll still get benefits.
And you're right though. I mean, by the time the minors in that blend by the time you have a small enough dose, the minors are all but gone. So
right.
Yeah. The inactive at that point, what is there is it's not going to do anything. But those kinds of combinations I find endlessly fascinating. And people come to me a lot and ask for blends, things to help them, or they say, I tried this CBD, it didn't work. I tried CBN, it didn't work. I tried THC. Do you have any ideas? And so they tell me what it is going on. I dive in and do some research. And that's fun. That's a little detective game where you say, okay, this is what part of the body the issue is. And okay, what kind of receptors are, and that's what I did chasing down the Parkinson's tremors.
Yes.
And that end up being G protein 55 in the basal ganglia, which is also called CB3 in some circles because it binds so well with, you know, the same kind of things that bind with, CB1. So you get, I've started confused myself in my own mind, but so though
I-
both, they will
I
both
understand
affect
completely.
it though. Both
Yeah.
see it like both
And-
CBD and the THC would affect it.
Yeah,
And but
okay.
it turns out that ratio did the desired effect very effectively, and we saw a reduction in tremors and things. And restless leg was just a side effect. That was a surprise benefit. But that kind of research, I would love. If I won the lotto, I would love to set up a research clinic where people just sign a waiver and say, you know, this stuff's safe. I know you're
Try
not
it
going to
on
hurt
me.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, come up with something to help, please. For the love of God, help me. And that would be, I think, the ultimate fun thing to do. But
I want to take this even, a step further because, I'm wanting to integrate medicinal herbs and flowers in with the cannabinoid compounds, and that's really where I'm kind of wanting to go personally.
we have a product in the apothecary right now that you would be interested in, and I haven't tried it. And me and Stacy were talking. I pointed to it today or yesterday, and I said, I really want to open that and buy one, but it's not cheap. It's two different THCs. I don't know whether it's A and A or what, but two of the THCs in this vape, and Blue Lotus.
Oh, that
And
sounds good.
Ooh.
isn't
Okay,
that
so-
interesting, right?
I hate to cut
So-
you off, but we have got to do our commercial break.
Yes, we
Uh-oh.
do have to take an
I'm
intermission,
so sorry.
but we will get right back to all of the fun.
In
So,
just 4 minutes, and
well, let's see. Which one? We'll do this. So, yep.
brief
run to
intermission.
run to the bathroom, grab a drink, pack a bowl, whatever you need to do. We'll see you back here in 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Are you a Northern Ontario resident? Searching for credible information on cannabis as a medicine? No Sir is here to help. Established in 2013, Northern Ontario Cannabis Education and Resources is here for you. No Sir Director Kim Cooper brings you 45 plus years experience utilizing cannabis as a medicine and is spreading the education across the North. Activism, resources, referrals, and more at No Sir. Don't be a jackass. Say no sir to cannabis propaganda with No Sir. Find us at www.nocer.ca. Psychedelic Tuesdays on NOK Network. Tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Psychedelic Reports. Ufa Alvarius is scouring the newsletters for stories being reported in mainstream media on psychedelic rights and passing them on to Hobby Puppets and Karen Simpson. They can bring you our listeners in this 60-minute video news podcast.
Tuesday evening news.
Join us for Tuesday Evening News, weekly at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all your news and information in the world of psychedelic medicine. Follow and subscribe to NOK Network on our webpage, social media, and streaming sites, including YouTube and Rumble. Join us for NOK Network monthly specials.
12 months a year. Movie nights. Spotlight on entertainment. And live on location event coverage. Stay up to date about upcoming programming by subscribing to NOK Network on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Rumble. Check out our webpage at www.noknetwork.com.
Peace, news, and views on NOK Network. Patients everywhere advocating cannabis evolution with Kim Cooper and Sir Steve-O. Joint hosts interview people in the grassroots and corporate cannabis space across North America and beyond. Sit down with patients, entrepreneurs, lawyers, doctors, and others sharing their journey with this medicinal plant. So join us for Peace, News, and Views, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where all consumption is medicinal consumption on NOKnetwork.com. Follow and subscribe to NOK Network on social media and streaming sites including Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble.
Advertising space available at NOK. Contact us for a rate sheet at knocknetwork.com. Send us a message on our social media platforms or email us at info@noknetwork.com.
Hey, dudes and dudettes. Enjoy the show, man.
And we are back. Now, yeah, we kind of got started. With normal a little bit different. I was back in the '80s handing out trifold pamphlets. Two-color trifold pamphlets that were greatly rejected in Indianapolis and other areas in the 80s. Hold on. There we go.
Were you muted?
Yeah.
He forgot to unmute it.
There you go. I thought I did.
Am I audible?
Yes, he forgot to unmute us too. So
Yeah, I clicked it.
Well,
but
I was, back in the 80s, I think I was in the 76 Chevy van with buddies, maybe toking one out on the old gravel roads in the hills. And that was about as, we did certainly back then. I didn't really want anybody to know, how times have changed though.
But, unfortunately, and we were kind of talking about this a little earlier, unfortunately, that's the way it still is in Indiana.
Oh, yeah, very much. And I try to be mindful of that. I went through a phase where I was, that's not really true. I was never like that. I didn't utilize cannabis for quite a while after I was in a bad accident and sustained a brain injury. And I didn't utilize cannabis for many years after that. And I decided at some point that the pharmaceuticals were really just doing me in. And they've really did a lot of damage. And so that's when I weaned myself off those and kind of went down the cannabis journey. And life has been so much better since then. And well, I'm still here.
Right.
So that's a good plus.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus. Definitely a plus.
But Indiana is a unique place. Obviously, right now we're pretty well surrounded by acceptance, and where the term "island of prohibition," you hear it a lot, and it's perfect term for where we're at. But we are making headway and pushing things like veterans care, right? So if you're in a state like Indiana, and you're a veteran, I'm a veteran, right? So if you're in a state like Indiana, and it's a conservative state, that's the makeup, that's the way it is, it's the way it's been for a long time, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon.
No.
You want to relate to the crowd that's very, very, prohibitionist, you want to relate to them in a way that they can support. And right now, the VA is a very loaded up healthcare system, and it's tough for these, guys getting care sometimes, the waiting lists and things like that. I'm one of them, right? I'm waiting on an appointment right now, and I haven't heard back in a long time. But all in all, it's not bad. I think it's a pretty good system, really. And but in any case, so the Veterans Administration's outlook on this has not really been that favorable, but they're kind of turning a blind eye to it. And I think there's been legislation, of course, that's saying, you can recommend it in states where it's legal. That doesn't do us any good here. So the next question is, when is it going to be legal here? And of course, I wish I had that crystal ball. I'm thinking we're making headway. Of course, I don't expect anything to get through. And one can argue that if nothing gets through, no bills are getting through, we're not making headway. But the conversation is happening. And it's a critical conversation.
We did get a hearing on a bill last year, and that was a historical first.
Yeah, there were two, and 2 hearings last year. I testified at both of those as a witness, and we are gaining ground. There, like I said, there's some pretty hardcore voices that the only way, and like shifting gears and chasing advocacy down that veteran path was how I like to present to them and how I like to kind of I get them to identify with the cause and explain to them what cannabis can do for veterans with certain conditions from their experiences and their times in service for our country, and that we're abandoning them, in my opinion, by keeping this prohibition going. And
yes,
absolutely.
And I've never heard even the staunchest prohibitionist argue against that. No one has ever. Maybe they just don't have the guts to do it because it's the only way I can think to get through to some people.
Veterans groups that I've been in contact of, states that are legalized, veterans groups have been very heavily in the mix on getting the public opinion to change.
Groups like the Legion, American Legion, and these veterans groups, and just the Veteran Brotherhood and Sisterhood is a very powerful political bloc. And harnessing that power, even just getting the backing of and the recommendation from a group, say like if the American Legion in Indiana did again, support that would be great. That really means a lot because we're not a union, we're a legion. It's very similar, right? It's a brotherhood,
right?
And when we all kind of agree, we move as a team. We were taught that way, and that's how we are even as veterans, I think. Very unique family, and that's powerful. And so hopefully that's making some difference. And I know it has with multiple people that I've dealt with. It's that argument really strikes home with them. So they're like, I'd rather not, but we got to do something. We're losing too many veterans, and I can't help but think helping tame PTSD would really benefit them, of course, So
absolutely.
So I'm thinking a couple of years. I'm thinking it'll be a couple of years probably, and I wish it were sooner, but I think that's reasonable. That's my best guess. And
I think we need to get rid of our governor first, and then go from there.
Yep. Thankfully, this is his last ride, so he's out.
Right?
Yeah.
I tried to run for state representative for District 42 the last go around on the Libertarian ticket, and something happened that I wasn't notified of, but my name didn't
appear on the ballot.
Appear on the ballot.
Oh,
so I think we're gonna try it again this year. But now I'm smarter and wiser and going to find some backers before I put stuff in and all.
Yeah. It's that's, politics is they're people just like us. They're like you're wanting to run, right? And once you get to know them up there, they're just people like everybody else. And I think having people with this kind of advocacy in their heart and backgrounds and active involved in any way in that system would be a great thing, because I think there's this stoner image, and not that there's anything
Yeah.
wrong with that. Don't get me wrong there.
Breaking the
But,
stigma is hard though.
Yeah, it's breaking the stigma.
Yeah.
That's
it.
That's it. One person's stoner is another person's artist. We all kind of walk to a different vibe and stuff. And just because I kind of look like I do does not mean I'm stupid or incompetent.
It's an excellent look, dude. It's an excellent look.
Thank
I don't think I could pull it off. Look at me in my Elmer Fudd jacket over here. I don't think I'm going to be pulling anything like that.
Country boy thing going on,
Yeah. Now, are you not farming this year? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, the price per biomass for oil. Now, if we were doing an indoor grow, and if Indiana had legal smokable hemp, if we had if that craft flower bill could get through this year, I'd be really happy just to see that.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that really, really, really drove a lot of people into debt, and saw a lot of crops go to waste when they did that mid-grow season in 2020?
Right.
I think it's, or 2019. I forget which year. And when they did that, that really screwed up the CBD industry, and in the agriculture industry in Indiana. A lot of people took baths on it. And so since then, we've just decided, making it for oil would be one thing. But then again, the price of concentrate or distillate is low enough now that, man, we were out in that field before the sun came up, and oftentimes after the sun went down until, you needed lights. And it was just a lot of work. And for oil, I don't know, it's not really worth it now financially, I don't think, for a smaller operation. For a larger operation, you might be able to make that work still. But
Now, how is the hemp fiber industry? Do you know in Indiana? How's it?
It's growing very quickly, and man, I love to see it. There's a new place Jason Straw was telling me about, or Will Henry, one or the other, was telling me about, right across the state line up in Michigan. Nice big place, and they're a fiber place. And there are more people around here growing for fiber too. I haven't visited any fields, but that's the direction that, as production techniques advance, and materials research and things advances with it, it's the price of that's going to come down too. Like, for instance, with CBD industry, when I got into it, I thought, oh man, I'm going to make a fortune, because it was $3,000 a liter. Now, now you're looking at 300.
Right.
Yeah. So you lost 90% if you even get 300. So, but we're seeing that now, that stockpile of hemp and that stockpile of distillates that were withdrawn from the plant during that time, and that kind of went on even after the growth plummeted in 2021 and 2022. So 19 and 20 were the big years, and things kind of dove down after that with the price crashes. And so fiber is hopefully something that those people can go to now, because they've got some hemp experience, cannabis experience in hemp. And, if they're familiar with it, and I'd like to see them do that, I think the more of it we have, and the more processing plants we have, the cheaper that will come down. I'd love to see everything made out of it that could be made out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
The hemp plastics, the hempcrete, the clothing.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we're seeing
fuel.
more and more, hemp building supplies, and that. I posted something. I think it was today or yesterday about hemp batteries, and somebody mentioned hydrogen. And I said, well, I think hydrogen is the future. And somebody said, well, you're just a yes person. You're saying yes. I said, yes, to all of these valid alternatives, because different applications, we don't have to have hemp battery powered cars, but we could have a lot of rechargeable hemp,
but they're,
battery appliances.
Yeah, and I think just replacing plastics, oil,
Oh,
Oh,
God,
that's
yeah.
huge.
oil-based plastics are such an awful thing. And I'm no one could ever say I'm an environmentalist or anything. I care like anybody, but I'm not like super environmental. But I will tell you this, I think plastics probably it's one of the most handy inventions, we've ever come up with, but I think it's a terrible one ultimately. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not, look at all the microplastics now we have in us, right? They don't know what kind of
Mhm.
damage that's going to do to us yet, but they're alarmed at this point. And I look around and it's just everywhere and I hate it. And it's not
Yes.
going to go away. It's not just going to decompose anytime soon. So I'd love to see biodegradable hemp plastics replace all that junk. If it can
Exactly.
technically, hold up to the use need. And I'd like to see it.
This we're with plastic where we were with rubber in the 1930s.
Well,
Yeah,
and paper too. I
exactly.
mean,
What a great
we stopped
analogy.
using paper and went to plastic when paper is renewable.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I never understood going from paper to plastic. The reasoning I just didn't
Yeah.
understand it. I still don't understand
The
it.
reasoning was it was cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think ultimately, well, no, if you no, that you're onto something. The old adage, follow the money. In
Yeah,
everything that doesn't seem right, it's usually not. First, trust your instinct there, and if you look close
right,
enough, you're going to find a pile of money in someone's hand, and it's never
exactly.
ours, right? So
right.
that's the way the world works, man.
We were talking Sonny
Mhm.
Goings. Uh, he is one of the Indiana grassroots kind of superstars
Oh yeah,
here, and he's getting ready to put together expand what he's doing and try to go county by county through the state and get some stuff organized. So
nice, very
my
cool.
best goes out to Sonny.
There's
Definitely.
yeah, there's still a lot. There's so many guys like Sonny, and well, there's not so many guys like Sonny. There are
No,
very
no.
select few of people like him out there, really just doing Lord's work, man, and spreading that gospel about this plant and the benefits of it. Those guys are just super, super, super important, and because of that initiative, right, and just that
Yeah.
grassroots county thing is amazing. And
Oh, you're talking about the guys that are down fighting in the trenches.
yeah,
Right.
really
And,
having the hard conversations. See,
yep.
we're kind of in a position. I don't know. There are some places that, as an organization, you got to be careful about. You got to be careful how you say things. We don't want to be. Uh, well, we try and advocate right now the medicinal, right? That's our first step in the state, anyway. So go heavy on medicinal, and
Yeah,
then once
that's where. Yes, I am 100% right there with you.
right, go medicinal. That opens the door, gets both feet in the door, actually, because it's inevitable that you're going to end up with recreational adult use. And then talk about, and I'm not downplaying the individual liberty and rights aspects, but I said then tackle that right. I think the medical side is just so critical. We're wasting so much time by not getting this done. And and it's certainly, as you know, politically in the populace, it is a nonpartisan issue. It is a
It is.
bipartisan. I mean, we're all in this together to 85-90% degree. It's just the few up there that are writing and voting that we got to change. And the tide's just there, man. It's coming. It's a slow tide, though. It's a slow
You know,
tide.
but besides, doing rallies on the state house steps, which is nice, and it gets the cameras there, but it
Yeah.
doesn't move the needle. What
Yeah.
what
Right.
can the grassroots people do to move the needle?
Well, okay, well, it starts at all politics is local, right? So, and that's a very good and true saying. And who is local? Well, the people you know first and foremost. If you've won your friends over and you can convince them well enough, they spread that word too, and they're comfortable then spreading that word. I have friends 2, 3 years ago that would not be the advocates they're willing to be right now. had it not been for that kind of grassroots, all politics is local movement, I've personally kind of been doing on my own. And I'm not like Sonny is, but I mean, just watching that.
Right. I'm not like Sonny either.
No, right? Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna lie about it, dude. But but hanging out with my buddies and all that, watching some attitudes of theirs change, it's pretty cool. And it's a natural process. It's not the fastest process, but it's it's natural.
No, and
And-
that's true because I absolutely agree because like my father's completely against marijuana, always had been until we started a CBD company and I started talking to him about it. And he's like, oh yeah, and changed
Yeah.
his mind. You
And
know what I
it's
mean?
those it's those one-on-one conversations like that, and like Sonny's
Yeah.
doing, and folks like him, and Jason Strahl is out there doing the same kind of thing all the time too. I mean, so many people are doing that kind of activity, and it's great because those conversations are like this conversation, where you just sit and you talk and you get real with people and talk about what you see working and what you don't. And you can have honest conversations and not be really afraid to say something, because you're right. Being in front of a microphone is one thing. It's you're not driving it home. You're presenting and you're getting attention that way, but you're not out there on the ground driving it home on the daily. And
Right.
so
Right.
everybody has a place, a very unique and important place in all this. And we're doing all right. So I don't want people to feel like they're not winning somehow. This isn't on you, man. This isn't on the people. The people are in support. I mean, you see the polls. People are in support. This is not on us. It's on the people right up there in Indianapolis in that capital.
Right.
It's on them.
That-
now. So,
And
and
that-
let's approach them in ways that convince them and give them solid reasons to want to support it. So you change them with honey, not vinegar, right? And then pull it. That's hard to do. Yeah. So
it is.
we're trying to give them plenty of reasons, so many reasons to support it, that their reasons to not support it seem absurd even to themselves. And that's
Right.
when the vote changes. And it's a slow technique, but it's
And that's where those veterans groups that we were speaking of can definitely come into play, pressure, and the type of groups that Sonny's putting on. The grassroots constituents that can move their neighbor.
Yeah. And the most active, some of the most dedicated folks I see in this game are veterans, and they're not afraid to talk about it. They're not afraid to advocate and to be the witness for it, and I love that. But
Yeah.
and I think it's a solid strategy in this state, and we've got a lot of very visible veterans in our advocacy groups in this state, just doing a fantastic job. And man, it just warms. I love that so much, and keep it up. Let's just keep going. Try not to get frustrated. Try not to blow our tops, and stay solid and on point. Just keep riding down that path, man.
Beautiful. I don't think I could have put it any better myself.
No.
Well, I
Yeah,
get long-winded. Sometimes it works, and
No,
sometimes
you're
it doesn't.
good.
Oh, you haven't heard me get on one.
So,
Oh man,
so
I'd
I
probably
know they
enjoy it.
already posted the link for normal in the comments, but can
Uh-huh.
someone please post it again? I know Jay was posting it earlier for Indiana Normal.
Yeah, I can.
If I could get Jay, could you post that link? No, I'll just have him post again, and you can pin it at the bottom or pin it at the top. Jay, could you
we're gonna
post
have-
that link for me to Indiana Normal again?
Yeah, I should just end up making a banner out of it so I can run it during our Mondays and
Well, I know Jay's
and
still there
Thursday
because I
show.
see him.
Yeah, I was. I think my membership is. I think it's time for me to renew my membership again. But the last time are you still is Indy? I got two questions for you as far as Indiana Normal goes. Does Indiana Normal still send out cards, or do you just download them or something?
Well, we started back not sending out physical cards, right? But the PDF cards we do. sitting all that out and then having the cards printed and all that, it's doable, but that's a cost. We try and cut down on those types of things. It's a paper saver and all that. And of course, we don't pay ourselves or anything like that either. So all the money right now, lobby expenses and important things like that. So we do the PDF thing, and it has your name and the date you joined. And so we started that back up, and it's cool. And we're also, I believe, still giving away a free T-shirt with membership now. So,
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
right.
Just throwing the sweatshirts. I know that's been a minute ago.
Oh man, I love those sweatshirts.
Yeah, we were wanting to get a couple of them.
I felt bad because I forgot I was going to wear it today to work and then just wear it here. And because I get off in the evening, and I forgot.
I don't
But
think you
we
realize
have all those. We've
that
got
was
some
me.
neat veteran shirts too. If people haven't seen that, the Indiana Normal shopping site or link to that, there's really neat veterans design that Denise Beach, a family
There it
member,
is. She
came
posted
up with. And it's very cool. Veterans might want to check that out. But
Yeah, and we're always if you know of a specifically good veteran spokesman out there for an organization, definitely get us connected, because I would love to have bring him on and let him talk about what he's doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know a guy.
Well,
Let me bounce. I know a number of them. Let me bounce it off a couple guys. I have you hooked up quick.
Now that we've talked about that, what are the apothecary? I wanted to hear a little bit about that.
I have one because we had a discussion about this last spring. Normal did an event in Indianapolis, and it's like, oh great, we're setting up at different events. We go to different festivals. We'd love to do something in Indianapolis. So we filled this out and told them about our company, and they said, oh, whoa. You're a CBD company?
Nope, they
denied us. We were, they didn't. Yeah, they kind of denied us and wanted all kinds of different documentations and said, really, this is a music and food truck event. And it's like,
I can tell you,
I got my goat a little bit.
Well, I can tell you why that is, man. So we've got insurance, and they're very particular. Any event we have as an organization, we have to have insurance for. And
certainly,
insurance won't insure it if we have vendors that, man, there's a lot of paperwork for like CBD products and stuff, the QR codes, the backlinks to COAs, and all that kind of stuff. And we wouldn't be so tied on that necessarily. If we didn't have to, but it's an insurance matter is all it is. There's so much bureaucracy. It's like, dude, I can't, at least around here, sell CBD at an ag fair. It's an agricultural product in the end, right? A natural one,
right?
Grown here in this county, can't sell it in this county. So the bureaucracy, this is what worries me about legalization. I'm going to be honest. This very same type of issue that you experienced, but only now imagine that in that world too. So it's going to be a quagmire. But in your case, it was just insurance issues.
Right. And it was like it's no problem. We have all of that stuff. We have our COAs posted on our website and all. But it just like the amount of work. If you can make the process a little easier.
We can certainly look into that. I'm not the one that takes those kinds of reservations, but I certainly know who does, and I'll find out and find out what's going on. It'd be because I know there's quite a bit to vend and that you got to do. And I've been in Normal now over a year, and I never had my company at one of the events. And there's two reasons. One, I like to walk around and talk to people. And and I want to party too at an Indiana Normal event. And the three, I didn't want to mess with it. And
right.
I might be a little lazy. Well, I am. I'm not a little lazy. I'm a lot lazy, damn it. But
Well, we've been
yeah,
doing
I just,
all of our
I didn't, I
festivals.
just, it just didn't, I don't know. I sport normal course and I'd probably do all right selling there. I
We've
just
been doing
always,
cannabis festivals.
Yeah.
We've been doing cannabis
Yeah,
festivals.
we did Kansas City. We've done Mocana.
Cannabis. We've done.
yeah, I've seen you have some pictures. Yeah, you guys have been getting around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So music festivals and
St. Louis Expo.
Canna festivals in Illinois. So we love getting out and meeting people. And yeah, I'm like you. I like to wander around and meet people and party. But actually, I found that
people are looking for him.
So I just stay where I'm supposed to stay, and
they find
me.
Well, there you go. There's something to be said for that, And
she can keep track of me that way too.
I loved going to expos, and especially equipment expos.
So you're going to have to go to the Keefe Canna Fest that's going on down here in Illinois in June. We're going to be set up at that, and it's a great event. And it's just right here on the state line. It's in. If you give me a second, I'll tell you exactly where it is.
But we do a lot.
Yeah,
we do.
Well, I tell you what, send me that info too, and send me that in a message or an email or something. That'd be cool. And yeah, because we're looking for neat things like that, to do throughout the summer.
Yeah, and it's 2 hours south, right here on the Indiana. It's right across the state line from Evansville.
Crystal will get you set up in her vendors group. She has about 300 vendors that do these and
almost 400
event planners.
Yeah,
wow.
Events.
So you can find events, and event planners can find vendors. So all kinds of stuff throughout the Midwest.
Those are great places to get exposure for your brand, and of course it's kind of a vacation, a working vacation, And I love festivals. I love them
every weekend all summer long.
Yeah, we're looking to get out to MJ Biz next December. We've kind of committed ourselves to not set up out there.
I have to go.
But we have some friends that have invited us out to be their guests and hang out for the time.
I'll be back.
We're looking forward to that.
Oh my God.
Did you go to the Alternative Expo and Organicon when it was in Chicago? Were you up there?
Well, I don't think it was. It was last year's. Or I don't know, the time before the last, whenever that was, is I think when I went up there. And I wasn't up there long. We went up actually to have a meeting with somebody, and guy from a solvent company that lives up in there that I was doing some work with and consulting with, and went up there, and he had a booth there, so we went in there. His company did, and it was pretty cool. And I don't know whether it's the same one you're talking about, but it was pretty neat. And I want to hit the one out in Vegas. I want to hit CannaCon and all those,
Yeah.
Well,
me too.
It's okay for me to go to Vegas, dude, man. I'm really not a big gambler because I suck at it so bad.
I'm not a gambler at all.
Yeah. When I was in...
hold on, hon. Because I wanted to run this past Keith, because Jay, who is in the comments, does Ohio Cannabis Festivals, Florida, Pennsylvania, and we were talking about putting on a Freedom Festival in Indiana, down at the Bill Monroe Campground, possibly in 2025. So what do you think? How do you think that would fly?
Man, I think that would be awesome. I love Bill Monroe. No, seriously, I love Bill Monroe Park, man. Like anytime there's a festival down there that's got like the Rumpke Mountain Boys and those guys, playing there. I'm going. I'm spending a weekend. I'm pitching a tent, and I am chilling. And the campground's like this. It's just so
right.
I tell you what, though, coming down to the campground from the stage area, going down to Big Hill.
Yeah,
you don't want to do that after a certain point in the evening. I'm just going to put
we know very, very well.
No, I think that'd go over well. That's a hippie haven out there, brother.
And that would be a good place to do it. Yeah.
So, but that's hippie heaven. 100%.
we're trying to talk and maybe get this worked out for late summer, August, September 2025. And,
I'd make arrangements to be there.
Right?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Oh hell yes, Jay. We want Mendo Dope to come and play. I think we could probably get Mendo Dope and oh hell.
Roots of Creation.
Yeah, the Roots of Creation. Can't believe I forgot their name.
You just played their music.
No, I just played their music, and they are supposed to come on the show at some point. So's Mendo Dope. Maybe.
But Mendo Dope is going to be at the Kiwi Canna Fest.
Yeah, great guys, great growers, great story.
Yeah.
So, it's such a great time. Now, I want to tell everybody next Thursday. Do you know our guest is next Thursday?
No, I wanted to find out about the apothecary that Keith's been.
We're gonna do that in just a second. But next week's guest on Thursday night is the one and only Alan Stein.
Oh, Alan's the power hitter.
The power hitter guy. So
you've got one sitting somewhere.
It's right over there. I got the pink one for breast cancer awareness. But Alan is going to be here, and word has it, he just might give away a couple of these power hitters. So
he is the actual owner of the Power Hitter Company.
Yep.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
So, we're not allowed to.
They're not allowed to. They want to go to Vegas together alone.
Keith.
And I told them no.
You can join us. You would make a perfect.
Oh man, you assume a certain level. I know I look mild, meek, and all that, but those.
I know what you are underneath. You're just like me, and I'm just like Alan. We'll
you assume all the liability, man. You assume the risk if I go with it.
Without adult supervision.
I'll tell you what. We'll get Mr. Cruz.
Wayne Cruz.
Oh
no.
To come in. We got us covered. We got us.
Yeah, those events like that are so fun, man. That's just, people are like, oh, I need a quiet weekend at a cabin in the woods or in the mountains or something like that. And I'm like, not me, man. I need cranked up music, and I need people, and I need partying. That's what I want.
I love Canna Fest, but every time we've been, we haven't been able to enjoy it. So I think the next time we go, we're going to actually just go and enjoy it because we've been there.
Yeah, you got to start out with that in mind, though.
Yeah.
You got to. You got to stick to the plan if you're going to do that. Yeah.
Right.
Jimmy Mead says if you come to Keithy Canna, he wants to meet up with you. Wants to meet up with you.
Right on, man. Well, I think I'm allowed in Canada.
No, Keithy Canna. That's the one in Illinois, down here by Evansville.
Yeah, just down by.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it is Mexico. I'm not supposed to go back to. I'm getting Canada, man. We'll see. Not till it warms up, though. I hear it gets warm once in July up there.
Oh yeah.
I'll respond to that.
It's in Peoria.
No, it's not in Peoria this year. Keithy Canna is not.
Crystal was wanting to ask about the apothecary, and I love the name. So tell us about the hometown apothecary.
Yes.
Okay, it's just a neat little store. It's at 1102 Linden in Fountain Square. A really neat location. It's a house that's gone through a conversion to be a store, so it's really neat. Inside, it's got like this Nashville, Indiana store vibe to it. It's really neat. Yeah, and we're concentrating on natural products, and the things that aren't natural are medicinal, but they're kind of alternative style therapies and pretty, safe things, compared to the alternatives, right? And that's what we're trying to do is get people to learn about and then utilize things that are healthier for them and just straight healthy for them. But to seek out, we're swallowing pills for everything these days, guys. And Yeah, you can't watch the evening news and not be terrified about the pills they want us to take and the medicines they're giving us. And I'm not an anti-pharma guy, right? I'm not that guy. Definitely a wonderful industry that saves a lot of lives. Same time, I think we're way too reliant on it instead of taking care of things way down here to simpler end before they ever get out of hand.
Yes, and not to mention that it also is getting into our groundwater and our soil.
Right, these forever plastics, forever chemicals, and things.
Yes.
So we have that, and we have our cannabinoid room. It's kind of a 21 and over area, and that way, you can bring a kid in the front part, and we're obeying the rules and keeping children out of that section. And
Right.
here, very very soon in this days, the adaptogen drink bar there is going to open up, and we highlight our mushroom extracts and cannabinoids, right? Those are our big fun things, but we sell lots of different things there. And so we're going to use those in our adaptogen drinks, and they've been working on those recipes pretty good, and we have some neat things coming, and lattes, stuff like that. So that's coming in a couple of days, and it's just a really neat little place. And people come in and they have nice conversations. Fountain Square is a very sociable kind of happening area, really. And we've just been welcomed with open arms and had some really cool experiences in there already. It's just a great, neat place. I love it.
That's awesome.
That is.
And so where is that? That's in Nashville?
11 in Indianapolis. It's Fountain Square. Yeah. It's at 1102 Linden Street in Fountain Square, Indianapolis.
Yes, I know where that is. That's a really nice historical district down there.
Yeah, and they've kind of done a gentrification on that whole area and really gussied up a lot of homes and a lot of houses and older buildings and things. And it's just a really, really neat area. And I didn't really know what to expect because I'd never spent a lot of time. I mean, I've gone down to the annex and all those kinds of things down in that area, but never spent too much time down there. But they're just really very neighborly there, which is a kind of a neat feeling because you're smack dab in the middle of Indy,
Yeah.
And there's this neighborhood. It's a cool place, man.
If I may be mistaken, but I thought that there was an author's house that was kind of turned into a museum right down in that area. This was I remember this happening like 25 years, 30 years ago, maybe longer. But he's a deceased.
Could be, dude.
Yeah, not Walt Whitman, but he was kind of along the same style. He wrote in I think the early 1900s.
There very, very well could be, and I mean it was pretty well established town by then, and but I admittedly I've not been as good as neighbors as the neighborhood has been to us because when I'm there, I'm in there, right? I need one day just to go walk the neighborhood and walk the shops and stuff, and I've been at Wild Eye Dab Bar, I've been there, and a couple places. Oh, Yasso's, oh my gosh, man, they're Jamaican jerk chicken is just the best chicken I've ever had in my life. That place I'm going to go poor, I think, because of their chicken. Because I'm going to be eating there a lot, man, especially come springtime. So, but it's just a great neighborhood for a store like that. And it just the way it's set up, even it's like it was custom built for that crowd, right? A lot of very hippie-ish kind of people. It's just an awesome place, man.
Oh, you got to watch out for that hippie scum. You really do. Tell them to use the back door.
Don't let my disguise fool you, man. I dress so as to not attract suspicion, and I try to fly under the radar when I can, but I'm part of this organization where it's pretty public and whatever, so I just ride with it. But this admittedly is my Elmer Fudd look today. So
well, Keith, we're going to kind of wrap things up, and then after we end show. I want you to hang around so we can kind of talk a little bit more if you have time.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
how can people find out more about you and what you're doing? And hope
Well,
you have a
they can come visit us, of course. The website isn't all, it's there. There's only a couple, like 2 products on it, beard oil and pet CBD maybe. So not everything's already loaded up to it, but so it's not blocked. It's just it's not finished. So give that a little more time. And then of course, Indiana Normal. You can find me on the funny pages on Facebook on that page sometimes, and occasionally the TV or what have you. And haven't had an experience like that one in a little while. But yeah, the store's a good place to find me. If you want to talk to me, that's and just chat sometime and you're in that area, stop in and see me. I had a really cool conversation with a homeless guy that stopped in warm up maybe last night. And I know that's, boy, I tell you that maybe that's wasn't the greatest thing to say, but I was happy. Well, it's a nice place. And he was nice, a clean guy and everything, came in. But we were talking and he was homeless, so he may have been warming up, but just the nicest guy, man. So when it's just literally everybody has been
I
nice.
read your
Stop in and
post.
see me. I like to talk. I like to spend time with people. If there's not a crowd, I'll spend time with you. Find out what's going on with you. Maybe we have something that can help you out. Maybe we can work together on something and create something that can help you. So I just like talking to people about this stuff, man. Just come see me. Come see me.
Right on. Right
I want
on.
to meet everybody anyways, right?
Right?
I just do. I want to meet everybody. And ideally, I mean, hopefully sell to them. That's kind of the job, maybe. But I do enjoy that. So
and
always
we
feel free. We're open noon to 8 in these winterish hours, and on Wednesday through Saturday, and then on Sunday we're open 11 to 5. And things will shift with the weather and the foot traffic. So if you know Fountain
Right.
Square, foot traffic picks up when the warm weather sets in, and bam, we're off to the races. So we'll adapt as we go along, but you can check the page or on Facebook and find hours and things like that. So come see me.
And please, support Keith and everything he does. Veteran, small business. We love to support all of our friends in the Canna family out
Absolutely.
there. Some wonderful artists and craftsmen and entrepreneurs. So please support small business, support veteran-owned business. Keith, thank you very much. You're a beautiful person. And I appreciate taking time out of your day to enlighten us and share what you do.
Well, thank you so much for having me on, guys. It was a pleasure. It was like we were sitting in a living room sipping scotch around a fire or something, and I really enjoyed it. So I really appreciate you having me on there in our conversation tonight.
All right. Well, don't take off. Stick around. We're just going to take you off screen and we're going to close the show.
I think you're right. Would you like to say?
So good night, everybody. Remember, be good to each other. Be good to other people. Smile. You might make somebody's day. And love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think one of these evenings you're going to come up with something different.
Maybe. But I kind of like
but
that.
But I will never come up with something different.
No, you won't.
Because as always, I want everybody to have an amazing weekend. Check us out on Monday night for...
we're going to be giving away a tumbler.
Oh, yeah, we're giving away we're
going to be giving away some food mist.
I think we're giving away some seeds.
I'm not sure.
We're giving away. Well, you know what? We're going to give away seeds.
You're just going to have to come.
We're going to give away seeds.
Okay,
anyway.
we're going to give away seeds anyway.
Whether it is on whether it's on the schedule or not, it's something we can do.
That's true.
So I think.
So make sure you guys catch us on Monday.
Yep. And until Monday, have a wonderful weekend. And as always, peace, love, good vibes. Have a great one, folks. And we are